Joining us in studio this morning, earlier we had one of our Kempville Dandelion Festival players. We have another one in here that will be playing at 11 a.m. on Saturday, and that would be Mr. Steve Cater.
Good morning.
Good morning. Of course, born and bred.
That's right.
It's on the bio.
That's right. It's on the webs.
So, tell me a little bit about yourself, other than the fact that you were born and raised here. I mean, how'd you get into music?
Just by accident.
Really?
Playing around the campfire and decided to pick it up a little more seriously a year or two ago. So it hasn't been that long. Really?
So, and you've really come a long way, I'm sure, in a short order of time, because you were in this contest. We'll talk about that as well with Mally Croc, the songwriters contest. So a year and a half, and you've gone from knowing barely anything to a full-fledged musician.
Sure. Yeah. We'll go with that. I wouldn't say barely anything, but I mean, I was pretty good around a campfire kind of thing before, but it was, 3-chord songs, things like that. So I tried to improve a little bit over the last couple of years, maybe.
So you kind of just dabbled in it before, and now it's become a little more serious?
A little bit, yeah. And then I started to do some live shows, which kind of forced me to try and get a little better. And every live show I do, I try and improve a little bit and get rid of the butterflies and things like that.
Do you enjoy
working out?
Do you enjoy the
live?
It's
fun to get up there and do your thing.
Yeah.
Once you work into the groove a little bit, it's good.
And then, of course, you're writing a little bit as well.
I am trying to write a few songs. I haven't done much of that, so like I said, it's pretty new, pretty much brand new. But my friend Mally Croc and I have got together for this one songwriting competition that you mentioned, the Kempville songwriting competition. So we wrote that one together. We were working on one or two more songs together, and hopefully continue that going forward. And we do a duet set together. Mally will be with me on the weekend, and a couple upcoming shows that we have. So we do right now about 6 songs, one of her originals and 5 covers kind of thing. So it goes over pretty well. People keep coming and asking us when we're going to be together again.
Yeah.
That sort of thing. So.
Well, I know off Mike, we talked about how you found it. It's a difficult part of it, writing the music, but it must be just about inspiring to work with someone else who's been doing it for such a long time. Mally has a little bit of experience in songwriting, and you're probably learning a lot from her as well.
Yeah, she has quite a bit. She's been to Nashville. She's cut a CD now. I think she's got at least a full show of her own material. So yeah.
Yeah, great CD. Great CD.
Yeah, it is great.
So what are you going to play for us this morning?
I'm going to play a song called The Difference Between Whiskey and You. It was written by a guy named Chris Stapleton. I don't know if he was with the Steel Drivers when he wrote this, but Tim McGraw ended up recording it on a record. It's really a great song, so that's the one I've picked to do. It's on my Reverb Nation website, too. I have a copy of it up there.
Yeah, and if you're interested in finding a little bit more out about Steve, we'll get you the website, Twitter, Facebook, all of that after this song. Great. Take her out.
There's a bottle on a dresser by your ring, and it's empty. So right now I don't feel a thing, but I'll be hurting when I wake up on the floor. But I'll be over it by noon. That's the difference between whiskey and you. Come tomorrow, I can walk in any store. It ain't a problem. Yeah, they'll always sell me more, but your forgiveness Well, that's something I can't buy. There ain't a thing that I can do. That's the difference between whiskey and you. One's a devil, one keeps driving me insane. At times I wonder if they ain't both the same, but one's a liar, helps to hide me from my pain, and one's a long gone bitter truth. That's the difference between whiskey and you. I've got a problem, and it ain't like what you think. Well, I drink 'cause I'm lonesome, and I'm lonesome 'cause I drink. But if I don't break down and bring it on myself, a little hit out of the blue. Yeah, that's the difference between whiskey and you. One's a devil, one keeps driving me insane. At times I wonder if they ain't both the same, but one's a liar, helps to hide me from my pain, and one's a long gone bitter truth. Yeah, that's the difference between whiskey and you. Oh, that's the difference between whiskey and you.
Yeah, pretty good. You got a set of pipes on you.
Thank you. A little bit of Randy, yeah.
Yeah. 8:49 as we continue with Steve Cater this morning. You can check him out at reverbnation.com/Steve Cater. You're also on Facebook. What's that? Do you have an actual address there? Facebook.com/Steve Cater?
Yeah, I believe it's something like that.
Yeah. And of course on Twitter at Steve Cater Music.
Yes.
So you're going to be playing the Dandelion Festival, as we were saying, 11 a.m. on Saturday, and people can catch you there. You're also part of the Songwriters Contest with Mally, and we'll be waiting to see who wins that. That'll be coming up. When's that date? It's going to be coming up soon enough.
The songwriting competition are going to be announced, I believe it's at 8 o'clock on the day of the Dandelion Festival.
Yeah. So it might be a very good day for you.
Yeah.
And so you're going to play us one more song before we get back to our programming?
Yes.
Okay, what song would that be?
Well, I haven't thought about that yet. I think I'm going to do one that was recorded by Adele. It's called If It Hadn't Been for Love.
Okay, sounds good.
Could adjust some tuning here.
And once again, you can check out Steve Cater at reverbnation.com/Steve Cater as he gets the guitar ready to play us this song. Also on Twitter at Steve Cater Music or Facebook.com/Steve Cater.
All right, well, we'll give this one a shot. Never would have hitchhiked to Birmingham if it hadn't been for love. Never would have caught the train to Louisiana if it hadn't been for love. Never would have run through the blinded rain without $1 to my name if it hadn't been for love. Never would have seen the trouble that I'm in if it hadn't been for love. I'd have been gone like a wayward wind if it hadn't been for love. No one knows it better than me. I wouldn't be wishing I was free if it hadn't been for love. For go on against my will, I'd leave least I know she's lying still. For go on without parole. Oh Lord, have mercy on my soul. Never would have gone to that side of town if it hadn't been for love. Never would have took the mind to track her down if it hadn't been for love. Never would have loaded up a 44 and put myself behind a jailhouse door if it hadn't been for love. For go on against my will. At least I know she's lying still. For go on without parole. Oh Lord, have mercy on my soul. Never would have caught the train to Louisiana if it hadn't been for love. Never would have hitchhiked to Birmingham if it hadn't been for love. Never would have loaded up a 44 and put myself behind a jailhouse door if it hadn't been for love. If it hadn't been for love. If it hadn't been for love.
Boy, it'll be a great show, 11 a.m. on Saturday. Thanks so much for coming in, Steve.
Thank you.
Really appreciate it. ReverbNation.com if you want to check him out, /Steve Cater on Twitter at Steve Cater Music, or you can check him out on Facebook.
If you got a second, I'd just like to talk about, there's a couple upcoming shows.
Okay,
after the Dandelion
sure.
Festival. We've got a 6-song open mic with Mally and myself, so there'll be 12 songs at the Crazy Horse coming up on the 28th of May at 9 p.m. After that, we're doing June 1st, Dickinson Days, 2 to 4.
Okay.
So again, that's a joint effort between Mally and myself. And that same day, June 1st, we come back to the Branch at 9 p.m. to do another show. So it's going to be pretty busy. July 14th, the Farmers Market in Kempville at noon. So there's lots coming up. It's all on the Reverb Nation page. So thanks again for having me.
Thank you so much for coming in.